Good morning. Happy Thursday. Let's get it. Wake up. Knock that sleep out of your eyes. Grab your cup of coffee. Time for Southern Fried Patriot Morning Show. Salute. We have survived another night. We are glad to be here. In fact, we're overjoyed. And I mean overjoyed to be here. So good to have you. From all the different streams all coming together, flowing together, just like the Southern Fried River, which flows gently through the state of Georgia, right by Studio A here in extreme northwest Georgia, all the way southbound until it gently flows past Studio B in extreme southwest Georgia, and then empties somewhere, parts unknown, in the state of Florida. Shout out to you whether you are this morning, whatever state, country, place you are streaming from or watching streaming. You might be streaming from too. We welcome you. Thank you for your support, and good morning to you, or good evening, afternoon, night, whatever it may be. When my friend from Thailand comes in here, It's nighttime. Like they're going to bed time. If you're Europe, might be some lunchtime, something like that, give or take an hour or so. Lunch, brunch, something. Well, we're glad to have you this morning. Good morning, Miss Kim, the ray of sunshine. I mean that so sincerely. Love you, gal. You are awesome. And I hope you have a great stream this morning from the great state of Georgia. Playing music, get people fired up. Wish you the best, you and your guest this morning. Keep rocking it. You are making a difference in the world. Just know that. Thank you for helping us, very small, new, coming along, up and comers, whatever we are along the way. The encouragement, it means a lot. She is amazing. You get you a Rumble channel. If you don't have it, what's the matter with you? Get you one. If you get one, before you even follow us, you need to follow somebody like Kim's Coffee Talk. She is the ray of sunshine in the morning. Before it even becomes sunlight outside, she is already shining, making things happen in positive ways. Killer Carl, telling it like it is, him and the gang. They take no prisoners. If you can't handle the truth, you might not want to watch. If you're a liberal who cries, don't watch Killer Carl. If you want the truth and you want it right in your face, I mean, warhead on the forehead type stuff, watch Killer Carl. Please, you will not be disappointed. Brother James on there, Empty Pockets Podcast. Yes, I found out more things new about folks every day. El Camino, did not know he was a big fan. I love it. Other folks on there as well. I don't know what they drive, though. They'll have to let me know. I don't know what Killer drives. Don't know that. But I know James had El Camino. Half Pine Forge. Brother Steve in Ohio. Give him a follow. The Blacksmith. We got to get him back for regular broadcasting. He had some problems. We went live last Friday for 40 minutes. 40 minutes of Steve is better than all day with some people. I'll tell you. He's a funny guy. He cracks me up. Love watching his stuff. And so many, many others. I start naming them out, and I think I forgot somebody, and I forgot this person. I'm trying to remember them all. We'll get them up on. We got to get a card up for these folks. But yeah, get you a Rumble channel. In fact, and thank you, Miss Jennifer. I'm going to send you an email today. It was, well, not too late, but I was tied up after I got off the show last night, which cracked me up, that show last night. Good grief. Oh, we had a lot of fun. That's what it's all about, having some fun. You got to have those. You got to have a mental health break, right? You're talking saving the world every day, calling out the treasonous, traitorous, anti-American, anti-life, good people, normal people, fight out there every day. You got to have a mental health break. That's why Kim is such a blessing. She's out making you feel better about stuff. She is that encourager. That's what I always wanted to be. She takes it to another level. She does. I mean that sincerely. That is not me making a joke. That is me being sincere from my heart. She is only thing I hate about it. The only thing I don't like about her show, she's on the same time we are. Mostly. Because I'll tell you, I'm a fan. But I go back and watch as often as I can. And sometimes I catch her live. But that's the bad thing about being a podcaster is you want to watch some of the other folks' stuff. You got to watch the replay. That is the great thing, though. That's the saving grace. You can go back and you can watch these things later. Well, we had some rain last night, a little bit. Didn't have no storms. I was thankful. I don't know if Rob got any for his garden. He needs it. But we got another day or so of rain up here in North Georgia, and we need it. We sure need it. It's starting to get warm and hot. That good Georgia humidity, but we're thankful for the rain. We are so thankful for the good Lord to bring us every blessing we have in our lives. Sad news during the night. Truly, truly sad news for me. Nobody listening here may or may not know her, but you know what? She was a superstar in my life. My Aunt Madeleine passed last night, so expected. She had full of life, lived her life, worked hard, raised a great family. My heart goes out to my cousins. It's my dad's sister. My dad's been gone now for several years. And he was close with all of his family, but they held a special bond. If we went to a lot of our family's homes to visit, as family does in the South, we definitely do that. I don't know about as much anymore, but we definitely did it. But we were at their house more than anybody's. That's a special bond. They just love to be together, and we had a lot of fun. And I have a lot of, that's what I posted this morning, is I have really precious memories, moments that were flashing across my mind. It's like the Elvis, singing about it, as those things are etched, on the pages of his mind or his life or in the song, and that's what I feel like. Think of the happy times. I know where she's at, and I'll see her again. I hadn't seen her in a bit. Last time I saw her, she's still the same person, never changed. Just had slowed down a little bit, as we all do. Don't want to say the age. I probably get it wrong. I know she was, I believe, in her 80s. I think I'm right on that. But however, whatever, that was a blessed life. Pray for her family. Pray for her family. Brother Dean, my co-host in the Southern Fried Racing Hour, one of them. Pray for him, his continued recovery. I didn't get with him last night. Dean, if you're watching, I don't know that you're watching. If you're watching, I will send the test today early, so that you can practice. I can still pull you up later today, before tonight, because I know you're coming in from home, since you're recovering from knee surgery. Take care of that. It got late. I didn't want to do it too late. I was going to try to do it during the show. I actually pulled up a different. It was too much going on. There was too much going on last night. Some shows I could engineer a little more and do some stuff, but last night it just got busy, and I just didn't have a chance to break away and do that. And it's just the way it is sometimes on this end of my town. But I'll take care of that today. Well, Harvard poll, newsflash this morning: young American support for Dems plummets. That's a Harvard poll. That's a liberal poll. All the shockwaves that will be going through the Democratic Party. The young people, who they always figure they got in their back pocket. Nope. We told you, young people have been swinging conservative, at least middle. They always are blazing their own trail. Those young Republicans, they might even call themselves young Republicans, but the young Republicans is growing. I've seen that. A lot of young people came in this last election cycle in my area, and although we can never ask, and we don't, it was pretty evident how they were voting. You could just tell. But I saw a lot of young people that were frustrated and sickened by the crapola, if I could say that this morning, that they saw going on in the world. They didn't like what they were seeing. They said, as Joe would say, enough's enough. Some of them voting for the very first time. Glad to do it. I've been doing elections now for 3 years. 3 years, I think. Never saw that, and that was a presidential. It's a biggie. Maybe it's 4 years, because it seemed like I was in on the last election. Anyway, whatever it was. They came in and in the droves. We were constantly saying, new voter, first time voter. We celebrate them. We We cheer them. First time voter. Families coming out. Families. Not all together. You could tell it was a mission. It was a plan. We're all going together. We're going to cast this vote to save our country as a family together. It's one of the most blessed things I've seen in a while. And they were so excited as they were getting ready to slide that ballot into I know. I can't celebrate some things. I'm gonna leave that alone. I don't want anybody give me a call. But we'll just say as they slide the ballot into. I'm not even gonna say it. Before they did that, they were celebrating. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna try my best. But yeah, it's plummeting. It's plummeting. I'll tell you what. You went to you know what? Democrat leadership. Talking about leadership across the board, felt like they could just do the voters any old way. And there's a lot of even Democratic voters that were saying, "Not on my watch. You left me. You're not who you say you are." And they moved on. They started looking for other choices, maybe independents, maybe even other parties. But a lot of them, I believe, came Republican. So that's amazing that's a lead, one of the lead stories this morning. But they checked the box on Republican early and often in the last election cycle. Voter rolls are getting cleaned up too. Voter rolls are getting cleaned up across the country. Vote, and I'll say not just cleaned up. They are finding some problems and getting those things took care of in a lot of places around the country. It's been going on. It's not receiving as much news as it should. And in my state, Georgia, there's been a lot of election stuff going on. There's a lot of behind the scenes, somewhat behind the scenes, but not as it's not. I've not seen it in a lot of articles, but if you know where to look, there's a lot of people that are covering this, and they're covering what's going on in Georgia and some of those issues that people have found in their counties, and working to get it cleaned up, and then telling you how some people are active towards them. A lot of work. We're going to start highlighting some of that soon, and some of those folks that are doing doing the hard work, I should say. And to the group that reached out, I know they get attacked a lot, but Voter GA, who has a Facebook page, I know that. They're out doing the hard work. They're getting the message out, and there's many others like them. The 100 days. It's next week. Next week, 100 days. That's always a measure and stick traditionally for any new administration. Doesn't matter which party. 100 days. We'll take and look at that next week, and we'll talk grades. On Sunday night on the news program, we're doing already some grading on some of the cabinet picks, on how they're doing thus far. Our opinion. We do take in a lot of sources. We are looking at what others are saying, trying to be fair, trying to measure, make sure that we're looking at the points, the positives, and things that don't look as good, or potentially, or just flat out fail. And given a grade, we did 4 last week, we'll do 4 this week, and we'll look at the first 4 to see if there needs to be a grade change in week 2. Last week we looked at Pam Bondi, Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, and Robert Kennedy Jr. This week we'll choose another 4, and then that's Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Standard Time, and we'll look at the first 4 and kind of look if there needs to be an adjustment, up or down, stock up, stock down, as you say, or stays the same, and then we'll grade the new ones, give our reasons why. Having fun with that. But next week as well, we'll do the administration as a whole. On first 100 days, where we're at, what kind of a grade? What kind of a grade? It's not a bad grade, although there's a couple of misses, or things that just haven't got done yet the first 100 days. It could happen the next 100 or the next 10. I mean, it might be 10 days. Things that we thought might be done by now didn't happen, but we're looking at that. So a lot of work going on. Looks like Elon's about ready to pull back a little bit. Car sales are plummeting. Truck sales. Got to get a hold of the business. I think he'll still always be connected. I think, according to reports, he's pulling back a little bit. He's going to pull back a little bit, take care of business. Got to take care of the home team. There's talk that maybe possibly a lot of negotiation and discussion about peace between Ukraine and Russia, and these are always tedious times because we know who Putin is. I mean, we know. He does what he does. No surprise. I mean, we kind of got him, but Zelensky's the wild card. Zelensky's the little, and I said little. He's the little one that trips up everything. He looks for a way to keep things going or whine or whatever. And I knew that he's going to keep on making statements and try to trip up the negotiations. I don't think that guy wants peace. In fact, I know it. What he wants is he's wanting to drag others in that can help him. He knows he can't win by himself. Never has been able to. His country will not float financially or anything without the assistance of the United States and all of Europe. He knows that. Got to have NATO support, even though they're not officially recognizing Ukraine. He's got to have their support to be able to continue this. The flow of money, munitions, it's got to continue. So he's going to mouth a little bit and try to bait Putin into doing something and say, see, look, he don't want peace. But President Trump blasted him over the last day for saying his Eastern European country will not legally recognize Russia's occupation of Crimea. He made the press conference on Tuesday. This was reported by the Wall Street Journal, giving full credit to them. And Trump went on Wednesday, went on Truth and chastised Zelensky for the comment. And so right at this crucial junction, he's making statements. The president went on to say, quote, the Ukrainian president, Vladimir Zelensky, I call him the little deputy, is boasting on the front page of the Wall Street Journal that, quote, Ukraine will not legally recognize the occupation of Crimea. There's nothing to talk about here. This statement is very harmful to the peace negotiations. Of course they are. With Russia, and that Crimea was lost years ago under the auspices of President Barack Hussein Obama, it is not even a point of discussion, and it's not. And I don't like what they did. I don't support that, but to my knowledge, most of Crimea speaks Russian and wants Russian to be wants them to be there. It is not a discussion point. He said nobody is asking Zelensky to recognize Crimea as Russian territory, but if he wants Crimea, why didn't they fight for it 11 years ago when it was handed over to Russia without a shot being fired? The area also houses, for many years before the Obama handover, major Russian submarine bases. It's inflammatory statements like Zelensky's that makes it so difficult to settle this war. You just knew that this guy was going to be the problem child. He will not shut up. This is on purpose by him. It's all predicated. This is why it's hard to get peace, and I think Trump is about ready to walk on him. He wants that. He wants to bring peace. It's good for the world. It's good for America. But you know what? Little man is going to be standing on his own, which he can't stand too tall, if he don't shut up. Because America's pulling out. We're trying to come out with a good end to this thing as best can be had. People saying Trump don't care, to carry that role that America's always carried. Well, at least seems to me he is. He's trying to bring peace, and he's not trying to continue war. He's trying to get a resolution here and stop the killing. Is that not what? And the libs are just attacking him. That he's abandoning Ukraine. No, we're just trying to stop a war. Your boy Zelensky has been the problem all along. This war should have never happened. That is not a defense of Russia. It's just a fact of where we're at. That should have never happened, and it needs to stop. This guy is, I've said it 100 times. My opinion, Dave in the AM, Zelensky has to go or there'll be no peace. Somebody's going to have to be the big, wearing the big pants in the room. We know who that is. And they're going to have to make an appeal, not to him. Well, you can tell him. You can tell him exactly where he stands. And tell him if he don't leave, some not so nice things are going to happen. But I mean, you can't. We're not going to walk him out. He deserves to be perp walked out. I mean, honestly, he should not even be in the country. He's not a hero. He's not a great leader. He has stripped Ukraine of a lot of democracy they had. He's violated their own rules of law under the excuse it's war. He has attacked churches, people of faith. Press don't want to report it. They are grabbing young men and old men and young men off the streets at gunpoint, throwing them into vans and putting them on the front lines to certain death because they're running out of manpower. And I'll tell you, early on in the war, there were a lot of Americans that had military background that got caught up in, and around the world, but there was a lot of Americans that thought this was a cause for freedom and I'll go fight. And they joined forces with Ukraine. Some of those died. Some of them were ready to get back after a couple of weeks on the field with them and saw just how things were going and what they were doing and everything else. And they basically said, this is not what I signed up for. And they were about ready to throw in the towel and say, you know what, you can have it. Because they saw it was different. It was not, and, I'm glad they saw it. They saw that what was being reported to them was different than what was really going on. They saw the brutalities of what was going on, and this is not what I signed up for. And they were being treated bad. American former soldiers were being treated bad. This is early on, the first couple, 3 months of the war, especially. There were reports coming out of just how disgusted some of those fighters were, and they were not happy. Whoa, this is not what we thought it was. So, God bless the Ukrainian people. You don't deserve what's going on. And I do hope that this can be settled. Now, as reported yesterday, early negotiations said that Russia would pull out of some towns that they don't have full control of, cede those back over. They'll draw the lines. It's going to be Russian territory. It's just the way it is. But they took it. And that the nuclear power plant down there that has been attacked and taken, retaken, back and forth, supposedly the plan was for Americans to run it and it remained under Ukrainian control, but with Americans helping to run that. But Russians and Ukrainians both getting power off of it, so that people, Russia's got, they got land there now, so they, got to power those homes, those businesses. So they still would be doing that. They wouldn't cut off the Russian side. They would, sell the power. And probably because of the hostilities, I don't know if I like the fact that it's America, but that was the plan, that the Americans would operate the facility so that it would be, I guess, fair. After all, you don't want your power being cut off when it's 10, 20 below zero in some of those areas. And Russia's done that. To be fair here, they've done that. So we'll see. But he is a problem. He is a problem. The president went on to say he has nothing to boast about. Nothing. The situation, this is what President Trump said, the situation for Ukraine is dire. Well, of course it's dire. They're running out of manpower. They're running out of ammunition, weapons. The economy's shot. We're propping up all the economy with the money that's flowed in. He went on to say he can have peace or he can fight for another 3 years before losing the whole country. He says, I have nothing to do with Russia, but have much to do with wanting to save, on average, now listen to this, 5,000 Russian and Ukrainian soldiers a week who are dying for no reason whatsoever. 5,000 a week. Remember when the American press was running every soldier life, every life lost is horrible. You remember early on, I know they did it in Afghanistan. Remember how CNN and some others would run the names? They didn't care about the American soldier whatsoever. They could shove it because we know the truth. They were doing that to try to put pressure on, make the administration look bad and all that. But there were a time when they were running the names of the soldiers who died. I got no problem with running the names. We need to honor them, but they weren't doing it for any kind of glory, honor, respect, grief or nothing. It was all just as a political football for them. But remember, it was small numbers, but every life lost is important. Yes, they would run those names and they would give the total. They would change the total. This many American lives lost, like they ever cared before. And those were it ended up being over 3,000, I think, total. That's a lot. Still a loss of life. God bless all you families out there whose child was lost to you forever from that. We're not making light of that at all. We're not putting. I don't like. Numbers can be done anyway, but that's by way of looking at it. They're losing 5,000 a week. It's a brutal slog. It is trench warfare. It reminds me of World War I with just a little more advanced weapons. Quite a bit, but they're dug in the trenches. The land between them is barren. The buildings destroyed. It's animals don't want to cross the countryside kind of thing. It's fighting, inch by inch, town by town, road by road, and it's a slaughterhouse. And it continues to go on with no clear where's the battle plan? What is the overall? What does Russia want? Nobody knows. We've all theorized what they want. Zelensky said it. We want all of our country back, including Crimea. That ain't going to happen, bro. That's his game plan, but he can't back it up. So we want the whole country back. We want it all. What does Russia want? Russia, I believe, could have already taken. I know they tried to take Kyiv early on. It didn't happen. Mismanagement. The Ukrainians fought a lot tougher than they thought they would, without a doubt. And they are losing big time. But they haven't used their most advanced weaponry. They've used a lot of weaponry on Ukraine. And outside of a few shots, there's a lot of Western Ukraine that has not been, some rockets and stuff, but it's mainly the east and south that has came out of the battle, the very extreme north, all the way, and the western, because that gets into near the NATO borders and stuff. Mostly that's been left alone. But, and of course, Putin is playing. He don't want to bring in the world at large. But there's other weaponry he could have used. They have the capability to annihilate towns, big towns, off the face of the planet. They won't be lived in for a long time. He didn't do that. He could have forced Ukraine to its knees. So they obviously have a systematic idea of what they want. I think the move on Kyiv anyway was just to go ahead and end it quickly and get what they wanted, and then put somebody else in place. Because I don't think Putin will make an agreement either with Zelensky there. I don't think. I could be wrong. I think he wants to. He's macho man. He wants to get that guy out, make his point. He's took the land he wanted, the expansion back of Mother Russia. He'll say these are Russian citizens mostly. They want to be under Russian leadership and control anyway. And it's your fault. And this gives me a buffer zone to NATO. It's your fault. I think that's kind of what he's thinking. And along the way, he's also likes power. He wants. I'm surprised if this deal on the nuclear reactors, because he's wanted to corner the market on all the power in all of Europe. I'm surprised that he's not trying to fight for that. And that may still happen, that he wants that nuclear reactor. These are ongoing negotiations. But they were hoping by now to have a peace agreement. You would think Thursday. We talked about this last week, late week. I think by now they thought they'd have something. So Trump's frustrated with it. He knows what he's doing. He's sabotaging the agreement. Trump says Zelensky's Crimea comment, one likely to anger Russian President Vladimir Putin, will do nothing but, quote, prolong and he puts, this is a quote, killing field. Prolong the killing field. And nobody wants that, exclamation mark. We are very close to a deal. This is the president speaking. We are very close to a deal. But the man with no cards to play, little deputy Zelensky, should now finally, capital letters, he says, get it done. I look forward to being able to help Ukraine and Russia get out of this complete and total mess that would never started, if I were president. He's made that statement before. And probably is true. He wouldn't have played the games that Biden administration played with Ukraine as their puppet to go down there and be flexing NATO's muscles all the way to the Russian border. They should have known how this was going to happen when they tried to do that in the state of the country of Georgia. You should have known that all the battles and wars and stuff that had gone on in these former Russian territories, how bad for the Russians it was, how bad. I mean, this has been going on for a long time. This was this bad from the get-go. Yeah, it's unfortunate for Ukraine. Because honestly, Ukraine should have why? There was no threat of Russia coming in. I don't think nobody believed that would happen. They kept provoking, and finally he masses troops and goes in. But thus far, the fear that Biden kept throwing out there, he's just going to go all across Europe. We gotta pick up. You gotta support Ukraine. Come on, man. Get with the program. Well, that's not happened, Bob. Not even Belarus has gotten in. I thought they would really jump in. Puppet state basically for Russia. He's allowed them to use his country for military war games, staging. I think a little bit of firing from there, not much. They really have kind of stayed out of it. I'm so shocked. And I know they've wanted to get involved. They're itching to get involved. That have been. Hadn't heard about it in a long time. But they were definitely wanting to get involved. So anyway, quick break. We'll be right back. We'll get into some birthdays and whatever else we can talk about this morning. And we'll keep continuing on until the top of the hour. We hope you're having a fine Thursday so far. And don't forget Cornbread Nation show tonight and the Southern Fried Racing Hour. Southern Fried Racing Hour is first on the lineup, 6 p.m., 8 p.m. Cornbread Nation show. Redneck Destination will be announced in the show. We're back off the island. It's a little bit different. This destination it's a little bit different idea tonight. So we will see. We'll be right back. Hey, Southern Fried fans and your Cornbread Nation. Well, yeah, that's right. We're going to advertise for Mammoth Nation. To all proud Americans, we call attention to these thoughts. Are you tired of woke corporations that don't align with your values? I know we are. Look no further than Mammoth Nation, the ultimate destination for patriots like you and me and Rob and everybody else, including old crazy Uncle Jeb, who believe in putting America first. Here at the Southern Fried Podcast, we're proud to partner with Mammoth Nation because they share our unwavering commitment to faith, family, and yes, freedom. Just like us, Mammoth Nation believes in the power of the American spirit and the importance of preserving our great nation's heritage. When you join Mammoth Nation, you're not just getting access to amazing discounts on products and services. You're becoming a part of a community that stands against the forces trying to tear our country apart. From supporting veterans and first responders to promoting Christian values,
Mammoth Nation is the go-to platform for conservatives who want to make their voices heard. So what are you waiting for? Join the Mammoth Nation movement today and start enjoying exclusive deals from businesses that share your America First values. Together, we can make America great again, one purchase at a time. Don't miss out on this opportunity to support a company that truly cares about our nation's future. Sign up for Mammoth Nation now and experience the difference of a community that puts America first. Use that QR code on the screen, folks, and that will take you right to the website where we also will be helped in your support of these values. We are customers of this great American company. Rob is a monthly supporter, and I am a lifetime member of Mammoth Nation. We're so appreciative of companies like this. Please be a supporter, not just for us, but for America. These companies need our support. We're patriots. Stand together with patriots. Take care, and God bless.
Welcome back, Southern Fried Patriot Morning Show. Birthdays today, Cedric the Entertainer. He is 1 year older than me. 1 year. His birthday's today. Happy birthday. Barbara Streisand. Not a fan. She is well-known legend. Well loved within the liberal community. Happy birthday to her. Shirley MacLaine. Happy birthday to you. Kelly Clarkson. Happy birthday to you. Let's see if there's one more. I think that's good. We'll leave it at that. Shout out this morning to a city. We try to highlight a city a day and highlight them. And let's give a shout out this morning to Franklin, Tennessee. Good morning to you. A lot of history there, especially during the war between the states. Neat place. That urban sprawl has taken over a lot of those battlefields. Not all, but some of them. But Franklin, a lot of sites up there to see, a lot of history, a lot of tourism, but Franklin, Tennessee. Shout out to you. Sometimes we do small area. It's not a small area. But shout out to you this morning. Salute. This morning. Patriot Mobile, use that promo code Cornbread. Make the switch today. Save some money. Support an American company who supports your values as an American. At the same time, you'll be supporting Southern Fried Podcast. Also, W Energy Drinks. I'm drinking some W this morning along with my coffee. Use that promo code Southern Fried. And then Podbean this morning, our audio site, which I failed to run the commercial on them. They're probably wondering, why is it so quiet? Quiet. Sometimes I get busy and forget that they're not tied into the system. But shout out to the Podbean listeners if there's any in there this morning. We appreciate you. And we enjoy the platform. It's great. Helps us with all of our audio sites. It's going to be a great day because we're alive and a part of it. Let's make a difference in the world today. Also go to our store at Threadless. And I've got to get the address up on the screen. I don't have it up right now, but we're going to get a few sales off the store. We got to add some new logos in. I'm hoping our website drops today. It's been due any moment. It's like we're like on yes, what it's like just waiting, like you're on the edge of your seat, like, oh, we saw previews of it. We're waiting so we can spread it to the masses, tie all this stuff together. Once we do that, I'm Let me order in my coffee today from the company we're hoping to deal with for our coffee. And if that all goes well, we're going to put that in motion and plan to kick off June 1st for coffee sales. That's my plan anyway. If all goes well, I think it will. That shouldn't be a problem. Should not be a problem. Take a couple of days of getting a lot of things set up. Maybe not even that long. I don't think it'll take a lot. We got everything we need. They've got everything they need. It's just a matter of a few forms and a few things being uploaded. We're set. So I think all of that would happen within a day. We'll get our marketing up and direct you to our Shopify account, and you can get some Southern Fried coffee, Southern Fried Cornbread Nation coffee. And one place got that. Just one place. That's right here. Remember on the Cornbread Nation show, we talk about our breadheads of the week, our jack legs. A lot of candidates for that this week. Our Southern Rock Band of the week. Another Atlanta GA band this start and played around a lot. Still around. We'll give a shout out to another Atlanta GA forming band. We just did the Black Crows. We're going to do another one. It's on our mind to do. Also, we'll have fan mail, which is always a part of that show. And I don't know if Jack's going to visit or not. It's been mentioned. We'll see. It's been a few weeks on him. We'll see where that goes with the Cornbread Nation show tonight. Be paying attention to the Supreme Court. There's a pretty big case that's going on before there. We mentioned it yesterday, but there's oral arguments that are going on in front of the court about the LGBT storybooks that these parents have sued about. And there's been snippets of this that's been released. Of course, you can't get video. The Supreme Court does not allow video to be taken within its courtrooms. But you can get an idea of kind of where they're lying, from the audio. And yesterday we were highlighting an exchange between Sotomayor and one of the justices. Today the news comes out that Gorsuch, he's calling out, quote, bondage found in one of the children's books and a wild exchange that followed. So it seems as though if on this one, we can't tell though because every justice has weighed in, but it seems as though the conservative wing of the Supreme Court is siding with the parents. It seems. So the parents are just saying this goes against our faith. We don't like that you're doing this. We weren't even asked. We would like the option to opt out. And but they have Maryland School District lawyer have a wild exchange that says over the children's storybook, not bondage. The exchange happened amid a case brought by parents who believe their children shouldn't be exposed to information about sex at a young age. The lawyer for the school district and Justice Neil Gorsuch had a wild exchange. He was asking Alan Schoenfeld, the attorney representing the Montgomery County Public Schools, over, quote, Pride Puppy, a 32-page book that tells the story of a family celebrating Pride Day when their dog gets lost in the parade and the effort to reunite the pup with his loved ones. The rhyming alphabet book, which was described as, quote, affirming and inclusive by its publisher, allows readers to spot items starting with each of the letters of the alphabet while offering a joyful glimpse of a pride parade and the vibrant community that celebrates this day each year. The book was previously used in the district's pre-kindergarten curriculum. And Gorsuch says, or asked, and they're being used in the English language instruction at age 3. Pride Puppy was the book that was used in the pre-kindergarten curriculum that's no longer in the curriculum, replied Schoenfeld. That's the one where they're supposed to look for the leather and things and bondage, things like that. Gorsuch responded, it's not bondage, it's a woman in leather. A sex worker, asked Gorsuch. No, that's not correct. No, replied Schoenfeld. Gosh, I read it. Drag queen? Asked Justice Gorsuch. Schoenfeld said the leather is actually a woman in a leather jacket and that one of the words is drag queen. The High Court was hearing arguments in the case brought by religious parents who say young children, and by the way, this is 3 different major faiths. I believe Jewish, Islamic, and Christian that are behind this lawsuit. The High Court was hearing arguments in the case brought by religious parents who say young children can't be expected to separate a teacher's moral message from their family's beliefs. Eric Baxter, the attorney representing Maryland parents in Mahmoud versus Taylor, told the justices that the school district violated the First Amendment by denying opt-out requests, which we get these all the time. I've had them come in from my kiddo's school. And nothing near, even close to, nothing like this. Nothing. We still get those. Opt-out requests for books that contradict their religious beliefs, even while allowing exemptions for other religious objections, such as books depicting the Muslim prophet Muhammad. Good morning, Celtic blacksmith. Why don't those degenerates ever target senior citizens? Why is it always about teaching this kind of stuff to kids? That's a very valid and good point, my friend. Yeah. Baxter said teachers were required to use the materials in class after the district approved certain LGBTQ-themed curriculum books in 2022. When the books were first introduced in August of 22, the board suggested they be used 5 times before the end of the year. He said one of the schools, Sherwood School, in June for Pride Month, said they were going to read 1 book each day. The district initially allowed parents to opt out their children for religious concerns, but reversed course by March 2023, citing concerns about absenteeism and administrative burdens. Oh, bless your heart. Among the other storybooks at the center of the case is Prince and Knight, K-N-I-G-H-T, a modern fairy tale aimed at children ages 4 to 8, which tells the story of 2 men who fall in love after joining forces to defeat a dragon and later marry. I can tell you right now, my kid would not be at school for this. It's my decision. I'm not demeaning anybody else. I don't agree with it at all. If you want to do that, do it at home. Don't force my kiddo to go through that. It's not what we stand on. It's not what this country has stood on. I don't care what they say. Another book, and I heard about this one mentioned, another book frequently referenced during oral arguments, this was the one that was brought up a couple days ago, was, quote, Uncle Bobby's Wedding, which follows a young girl processing her favorite uncle's decision in marrying another man. The Supreme Court is expected to issue a ruling in the case by late June. So that's two justices, Gorsuch and Alito, who have certainly went down the road of looking like they're not for this, and they look like they're siding. Pretty sure Clarence Thomas, we know where he's going to vote. The question will be, Miss Amy, Brother Brett, and of course our favorite flip-flopper on the court, Mr. Roberts, John Roberts. You know, what's he going to do? But I feel like this is trending the right way, but you know the pressure is on. There's a lot of powerful people. This is a big one. I mean, this would be a Supreme Court decision. So, but at its essence, I don't know what their end result, what they want as a ruling, but if it's just to get the opt-out clause, that seems like a no-brainer to me. It seems like a no-brainer. Whenever you have something that you want to do as a school, that's something that's going to cross these kind of lines, you got to get your parents involved. I don't care if it's 1 out of 500 that doesn't want to do it, you give them that option to opt out. They're the parents. That's their kids. These indoctrination centers, as they've become, a lot of them, I won't say all, but many of them, where parents are not even notified of what's going on. The kids are coming on, hey, what's this? I mean, 3 years old? Are you kidding me? Pre-kindergarten? There ain't no flipping way. No way. Wow. You just don't have that right. And you're right, Steve. Why is that? Why ain't it what? They didn't start with adults, did it? Free books for adults. Come on. This stuff's happening all over the country, though. This is an ongoing battle that's been going on for years. I remember, what was it, VCY America? I might have said that wrong. Is that what it is? They've been highlighting things in Wisconsin schools for years, because that's where they're based, in Milwaukee, I think it is. And they've been highlighting difficulties they've had out there for a long time in the ongoing battle for what's being done in the schools out there. I used to catch that show every day, and you'd be riding down the road, and you'd be wanting to pull over and punch a tree or vomit of what you was hearing. It was just sickening. But this is all over the country, and it's why more and more kids are going to private schools. And hence, when you go all the way back, and of course the teacher unions don't want to hear it and all that, is the vouchers to take and use your dollars that would be used for that, so that you can afford to put your kid in, because they cost more, typically, to be able to put your kid into that to help afford that. I can tell you that we haven't had him on. He's been busy with his own stuff. But I have a parent. I'm not going to name. I work with him. I would let him share that if he so chose, or if he would just come on and say, this is who I am. He's a fellow preacher. He pulled his kid out and put his kid in private school, Christian school. And the child, by the way, the child is off the charts, doing so much better, even academically, than they were in the public school, which is typically in the area considered a really good school. But even more so, this kid is just doing great. It was a financial hardship. They worked it out, because that's what you do for you kids. And it was over similar, not to this, not that kind of, but it was similar. We'll just say similar. And it involved book reports, that they were being asked to do book reports on. And they went down and tried to do the opt-out thing, tried to work it out. And they said, no, you can't. He said, at that meeting, well, we opt out. We're out. We are out. My child is not in your school anymore. I will notify the state where we're going. They'll be in school. It won't be this school. And he removed his kid that day and said, no more. And so this is decisions that parents are having to make. And look, homeschool is a great option if you can do it. For them, it was very difficult, just due to work and everything. They both work. So a private school, Christian school, for them was the answer. They had to work out what it was going to be like. It added $300 a month to their budget. They worked it out. You can always find $300. You can, really, honestly, you can. Anybody can. There's $300 in just about everybody's budget. If they really want to cut some stuff, they can for your kids, and they did that. And every time I meet him, he gives me just glowing stories about how great his daughter is doing, and he's so excited about it. And he just shakes his head. He's like, they wouldn't even discuss it. He's like, no, this is what we do. Tough. And so he just moved the child, and they're doing great. I know another parent. Fortunately, he has passed since then. Probably the child is probably close to college age now, but the child was bullied so bad in school, and the school didn't do anything about it. It's a whole other school system, still in the state of Georgia, though. Both of these are states in Georgia. I'm not trying to besmirch the education system of Georgia. So, all you teachers, please don't be mad at me. But even teachers in Quatley will reach out to you and tell you their frustration of a lot of things that's going on in the school system. They just can't publicly speak up too much because that's just the way it is. But a whole other school system, Atlanta area, not Atlanta schools, but Atlanta area. I said that's as narrow as I'm gonna get it. Was bullied so bad that the child had an emotional breakdown, and it socially damaged them so bad that they got to where they didn't want to leave the house. They got counseling. The school wouldn't do anything. And I know this man. I knew this man well. We talked a lot. His love for his daughters. Had 2 daughters, I believe. He put her in a private school online at home, which is what the other one did. Same thing. And it took a long time, but she did well too, and her scores went way up, and she slowly got better at the social interaction. I mean, this girl didn't want to leave her bedroom. She just shut down, and they didn't know how bad it was at first. I mean, she wasn't saying nothing, but the bullying got her. And parents again taking control and saying, "We got to save our kid. This is ridiculous," and removed and went to a private school, and the child flourished. And I think that by now is probably in college, and actually going to college. I don't think it's online. I think way back. I think I'm right on that. But irregardless, got the education, went a different route, wasn't bullied. I will tell you, I had a discussion before I go off the air, and I'm not even going to say what age level. I had a discussion before my kiddo was entering into one of the schools. First day of school. It was excuse me, not first day of school. It was Parents' Day to meet. Come down, meet, walk the school, all that. Everybody's in the auditorium. All the teachers, principals, everybody running around. And one of the it wasn't the principal, but it were very closely. I don't know if it was assistant, but very high up in the hierarchy of that. Was asking us how it was going and everything. They asked my kiddo, were they excited about coming to school? I said, "You ever a little nervous?" I said, "Well, that's to be expected, yeah." I said, "Well, yeah, but it goes beyond that." I said, all of her and her friends are afraid of the bully. And I said, they got questions, and so do we as parents, because this is out there, and all the parents are talking about it, and all the kids, because they got friends that are ahead of them that are here now. Was at the school last year and said it was bad. This was the response I got. "Well, we do the best we can. We can't be everywhere at one time." That's your response. Just, it is what it is. We do what we can. The same school where the furries walk around. Yes, the ones that think they're dogs and cats. It's a different world, folks. It's a different world. Our country's been in trouble for some time. If we don't get it fixed now, we're going down a slope, and this is just an oasis we're at right now. If we don't get it fixed, or the pedal will be back to the metal, and we'll just be flying straight towards hell as soon as this administration is done. And I'm telling you, the Democrats are targeting the midterms. They want control. They want to limit the president. They're going to take the fight to him. And they're intent on the destruction of this country. Now's the time for all good men and women to make a stand for the country. At the schoolhouse, to the courthouse, to the election booth. Make your voices heard. This is Dave the AM. Have a great day. Man, it's heavy this morning. But that's where we're at, folks. You know, I like to laugh and cut up and have a good time, but sometimes you just got these are big things. And that's what we as parents, we have our grandparents. We just can't put our heads in the sand. We got to listen to what's going on. We got to be wise. Taking in all the information, filtering it through the good values that we have, and making right decisions for us and our families. And staying on these politicians to do the same thing. And be a voice. That's what we got to do. We'll see you tonight. Southern Fried Racing Hour, 6 p.m. 8 p.m. will be the Cornbread Nation show with Rob, Brother Dean for the Southern Fried. I don't know if James is going to make it or not. I saw a post that he might not be able to make it. We hope you do. If you can't, we understand. Always be another week. As long as there's a show, a podcast, there'll be a Southern Fried Racing Hour. Y'all have a great day out there. Steve, probably already on his job. If you're not, God bless you, brother. And by the way, did you get my email? I asked you a question. I don't know if you responded. Maybe you didn't see it. Maybe you ignored it. And I said, I ain't talking to you. We hope you have a great day out there. Grab hold of it. Don't let nobody take it from you. Stand your ground, as we say. Old people get mad at that. What? Stand your ground. Absolutely stand your ground. Take care of your home. It's your castle. Includes your car. Don't let the jacklegs win. We'll see you tonight. Yeah. Joy to the Lord, absolutely, on the Instagram side. Sorry I missed that. Yes, don't lose your joy in the Lord, absolutely. Let's get it today. Go out there and face the world. God's with you. If he's not, pray. Something's wrong with you. Amen. We're out.